All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. Pushing his way inside the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that, because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet you still have to be physical, and that's what they did on the first play.
Geis. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, this is Geis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry, hurry! Hey! Line! 675! Hurry!
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll try the air now with Locke. Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Jordan Jenkins in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. For this now, play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Back to throw, Luck. Flushed out right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Run. Black, come on. 3-5-7.
Now Wentz. Green with a catch left side. And they'll get him down here at the 20.
Hang in there now. Where's 5-2?
Wentz now on first down. To Michelle on the double. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. On the handoff, it's Michel. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wynn's going to try and throw on 3rd. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run with Geis, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
11B. 11. 12.
They snap it to Locke. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And now out comes Houston. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit.
A ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, it's Long. Throw left side complete. It's James. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
12.
Just beating the play clock is Love. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
560. Hey, easy.
A shotgun snap for Love. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Carlos Dunlap able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Sproles, the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Finds Roberts left side. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Bring it to you. Great. Run.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Luck. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Hey, easy. 11.
They go play action here on 1st down. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Go. 20.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Roberts. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Throwing on first is Wentz. That is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Run. Lion. Go.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz eluding the pressure right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Here we go. 81.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Flushed out right. His throw caught at about the 5. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Dawson's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And out Not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Luck. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete on the deep ball. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Moore now on the return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, it's Michel. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Texans on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Roberts. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Wentz now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz dancing to his left. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
A give. This is Michel. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Wins to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Dante Jackson, the first of his career. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before? And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
12, 12. 12, 12.
Now Love. And going deep for Hill. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever.
12, 12. Bring up. Green, middle.
From the gun, here's Love. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump at him.
And my goodness, another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Try and push the pile. He only got a yard, but that was enough to do the job.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
They'll hand it down to Geis. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And the kick by Butker is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They begin with Michel on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here we go. Wait. Run.
Wins to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Look at this tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On 1st down, Wentz. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Wentz to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. This is Geis on a handoff left. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Love. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And now look at him go. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are in for 6. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Butker now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Monday. 12.
To throw on 2nd down is Love. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Andrew Billings coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing now is Wentz. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation, because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And some room to work.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And now out come the Giants. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
12.
Luck gonna throw it. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Lock. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Tyreek Hill with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Giants add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a
blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now it's second down, but here's the field goal team out onto the field. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he does have a good leg, I'll give him that, but not that good.
Not by a long shot.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. Throwing now, Luck, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Tyreek Hill finishing strong with 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL.
He's got daylight. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
So Luck down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.